Amid renewed strikes by Israel and the US, Iran is stepping up its retaliatory attacks on American assets across the Gulf region. From military bases to consulates, American assets have come under threat from Iranian missiles and drones. So far, Iranian retaliatory attacks on American bases have been reported in Iraq, Kuwait, Jordan, Bahrain, Qatar, the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Those attacked include the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, which is the largest US base in the region, Al Dhafra Air Base in the UAE, the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet headquarters in Bahrain, the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia, and the Erbil Air Base in Iraq. U.S. logistics base at Camp Buhering in Kuwait and the Jebel Ali port in the UAE have also been hit. Not just military facilities, even diplomatic facilities have come under attack. So far, the U.S. consulate in Dubai, Riyadh, and Kuwait City have been struck by Iranian drones. The attacks have prompted the U.S. to close its embassies in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Lebanon. As the attacks escalate, the U.S. is feeling the heat. It has already issued evacuation orders for non-emergency personnel in Bahrain and Jordan. It has also urged American citizens across 14 countries in West Asia to leave immediately as the war spirals across the region. So far, 6 American personnel have been killed. Reports suggest that the U.S. has lost nearly $2 billion worth of military assets in the 5-day war. Among the most significant losses is the $1.1 billion early warning radar system at the Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Another major loss is the radar associated with the 3rd missile defense system in the UAE's Al Ruwais base. As Iran hits back relentlessly, the US and Israel are intensifying their attack on Iranian missile bases in a bid to blunt Tehran's counterattacks. The US claims it has hit several Iranian ballistic missile facilities, degrading Tehran's missile capabilities. But cheap Iranian suicide drones, especially the Shahed drones, are emerging as a bigger problem for the US. The cost-to-kill ratio is heavily skewed in Iran's favor. Drone swarms can overwhelm radar systems, forcing the US to burn through its limited inventory of high-end interceptors. Mr. Asutosh Patnaik is a United Nations diplomat and special envoy. He's now joining us live on this broadcast. Envoy, thank you very much for your time and welcome to the broadcast. I just want to begin by your assessment on what is happening in West Asia. How long do you predict the war will last, and what is the direction of the war is taking?
Well, thank you for having me. Well, you see, what we are seeing currently in West Asia, it's very, very disturbing. We ourselves are very overwhelmed on what's happening in West Asia. At the same time, what we are seeing that it's collecting a larger issue among even in West Asia and beyond. Closing down the Strait of Hormuz is obviously seeing economic crisis and instability, which is slowly forming around the globe. It's not even affecting West Asia, but it's affecting other regions around the world. Apart from that, most concerning is the humanitarian losses which are happening around the region, not even in the Gulf, but especially in Iran and beyond as well, as we are talking about what's happening even in Israel. It's very concerning for us on how the both tri-parties, when it comes to Iran, Israel, and US, are not going down with their current strategies on wait and see and retaliating on each other without any negotiating ground. It is very concerning on what we are seeing, to be very honest.
Patnaik, what do you think will be the middle playing ground for the 3 parties involved, the United States, Israel, and Iran? If Iran continues with their retaliation, and if the United States cannot handle the kind of retaliation that's going to their partner states, which include the Gulf countries, and if Israel does not budge out and does not stop with their relentless attacks on Iran. What do you think will be the middle playing ground here? What state, what continent, what country, what person?
Well, you see, Americans need to understand that Middle East is not the same. It's not 90s. Right now, Middle East is evolving, right? There is cooperation which are coming even from other parties which are supporting Iran. Americans need to understand that this issue where, the GCC is also getting pressured, US itself cannot move ahead with this war for a longer time. As well as same goes for Iran. I really believe that at a point Iran can even afford this particular war. Closing down Strait of Hormuz is also affecting them when it comes to oil supply, or it comes to the economic sanctions, when it comes to the airspace closure. It is affecting Iran left, right, and center. So, particularly if we see the current issue, I believe that there needs to be a negotiating ground for all the parties, and we truly call for an immediate ceasefire as it's for the best interest of all the parties.
Going forward, Mr. Patnaik, how will the world, and I'm not talking about these three parties involved, but how will the world avoid such conflicts, such wars that emerge out of nowhere and are hard to control?
Well, so you see, it's not something which is emerged from nowhere. I mean, Middle East has seen crisis from a longest of periods, especially when it comes to Iran and the US. I truly believe it's not because of the nuclear proliferation which US is asking for. Otherwise, they would have gone with the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, which they exited in 2018. But as you see, there needs to be something which conducts a middle ground for both the parties when it comes to Iran. I truly believe destabilizing a country like Iran, pulling them out of their current governance, is not a solution, because it's going to destabilize the country even more beyond. And we are certainly not sure that who else is going to come into a power, and what will be their foreign policy towards the United States, or when it comes to the developing of nuclear power. So we truly need to, I believe, wait and see on how things are turning up. But as you said, how we can make sure that this issue is not on a continuous basis, I believe that is a very broader question to answer. As you know, the issues in Middle East doesn't combine to one particular reason. But as you see the current issue, I truly believe that we need to wait and see on how things goes to understand that this doesn't continue.
All right, Mr. Asutosh Patnaik, thank you very much for your insights and for talking to WION World is One today.